I'm going to make a really bold statement here. Appointment setting is going to be the best opportunity in 2023 to make money online if you have zero experience. If you're looking to get into it, here are 5 things you need to know.
Welcome to the Remote Closing Academy.
Hey, what's going on? Aaron here from the Remote Closing Academy. And as you hear the word appointment setter, you probably have a ton of questions popping up in your head. Like, what does it entail? How much money can I actually make from this? How much time do I have to put into it? Can I do it as a side hustle? So many different things. So we're going to cover 5 things here really quickly, and actually a 6th bonus one that you definitely have to stay tuned for if you're looking to really take this seriously in 2023. Starting off at number 1 is you do not need previous sales experience or retail experience, anything like that, to become a remote setter. I think when people hear the word sales and remote closing and appointment setting, they assume that you have to have sales experience, but we actually prefer if you don't have sales experience. And the reason that is let's just think about old school ways of selling, things like retail sales or real estate or insurance sales, or everyone makes the example of the used car salesman. A lot of those people learn really old school sales tactics, things that really give sales a bad rep. So for someone to have, let's say, 10 to 15 years of experience doing that, to get them to unlearn those bad habits, it's a lot more difficult than getting someone that's completely green, building them up into becoming a really good appointment setter, and then they're learning right the first time. So a really great example, we just did an interview with a guy named Hunter, and he had no sales experience. And within a year's time, he was not only able to get placed in multiple offers, making about $5,000 to $10,000 a month, but he's now actually placed on Grant Cardone's team as one of their head setters, and this guy's only 20 years old. So he's in a really good spot. He didn't have any sales experience, and we prefer that you don't. But that's also not to say that if you do have sales experience, not to apply, because we'll bring you into and we'll just change your mindset. Now, speaking of Hunter being 20 years old, that's one of the second biggest things or biggest questions or points that I wanted to cover here is, do you have to be a specific age, or is there an age requirement or a limit? And the answer is no. I mean, if you're 12, 13, 14, it might not be the best thing because you're in school and stuff like that, but we've seen people that are 15, 16, 17 come in and absolutely crush it as a remote setter and closer. Now, I will be clear though, if you are under the age of 18 and you are going to become an appointment setter for a different company and you're getting paid and stuff like that, if you're under 18, there's contracts that have to be signed. If you're under 18 and you're still living under your parents' roof and they basically make the decisions, they're going to be the ones that are in the decision of actually signing those contracts. So I would say if you're under 18, you can definitely see success with remote closing. You'll just have to know that if you are going to be a remote setter or a closer, because of those contracts, you're going to have your parent or legal guardian actually sign those for you, and you have to stay really close into communication with that. Jumping into number 3, of course, is the thing that everyone's always wondering about, is how much money can you make as an appointment setter? Actually, let's save that for the last one. I'm going to make you guys wait for it. All right, so rewind here really quickly. Let's jump to number 3, and that is, can you do this part-time, right? Do you have to put your entire, schedule as a remote appointment setter? And the answer is no. Now, I will put a caveat with that though, because it really just comes down to what you're looking to get out of an opportunity, right? If you're looking to replace your income or, make more than the current job that you're working, or let's say you don't even have a job and you want to put all your time into it, just understand that you're going to make the amount of money based on the amount of time that you put into it. So because appointment setting is a commission-based job, is again, the more sales that you make, the more money that you're going to make. If you come into it and you say, hey, I only want to make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you can probably do that part-time, right? You don't have to put all your time into it. But if you're coming in and you're saying, all right, I want to make, like some people that we know, making $7,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month as an appointment setter, I mean, they're working 8, sometimes 10 hours a day because they're setting those expectations and the goals for themselves and know it's actually going to take work. So can you do it part-time? 100%. It just depends on overall what you're looking to do and the goals that you're looking to hit. So jumping into number 4 is, where can you do remote appointment setting, right? Do you have to live in the US? Can you live in a different country? And there is some yeses and some nos to that. Now, of course, being 100% transparent with you guys, the majority of the companies that we work with, where we're placing appointment setters into, is a good portion of them are English-speaking countries where they're in. But there are other offers that, whether they're within our business, right, within our Rolodex, or other people that are out there that aren't in the US that are looking for people that are within your country that speak a different language. And on top of that, if you are in a different country, let's say India or France or the UK or wherever it is within the world, is because you're on a different time zone, a lot of times, let's say someone is based in the US, but they do have clients of theirs that are looking to, jump in from a different country. If they can find someone and there's enough demand there, they're going to hire you because you are working in your native language as well as your time zone. So the people in the US aren't working at 2 or 3 a.m. It's going to be a normal time for you because you live in that country. Now, I have gotten the question a lot from people that watch some of our other videos where they follow some of the strategies to find some of these offers. And they say, a lot of offers aren't really available in those countries. So I can't really speak on that because whenever I do searches on Indeed or Facebook groups and things like that, I'm going to get what's geographically like in my area. So I can't touch too much on that, but you can check out some of those videos and try it for yourself to see if it works and see if you can find any other offers. So let's go ahead and jump into number 5, the one that I told you guys you're going to wait for. And we have a bonus here right at the end. I think you definitely need to hear it if you are thinking about becoming an appointment setter. But let's talk about the money. Now, I want to go ahead and preface this by saying there is no like one amount of money that an appointment setter would make because of the variables that go into it, right? If you're new versus have experience, if you're getting, 5 calls a day versus 10 calls a day, if the offer is providing you X amount of leads versus more amount of leads, right? There's so many things that go into it, but I want to give you an example based on just a couple of averages. Now, on average, an appointment setter is going to make about 3% commission of the offer price and the cash that's collected for when the closer actually goes in and closes the sale. So on the screen, you're going to see some numbers that pop up. So we're going to do some math based on a $7,500 offer, which is, about average for, offers within the space. Sometimes lower, sometimes you could be selling a $50,000 offer. So obviously those numbers would look a lot better, but let's use 7,500 as the offer. Now, usually you're going to have to, in terms of minimum KPIs, you're going to want to set about 20 sets produced every single week. So that's usually in a 5-day time frame. So you're looking at about 4 sets per day, which is extremely achievable, especially when you work with companies that are giving you leads. Now, with these leads, because they're being generated from the company itself, and they are pre-vetted and they're actually opting in with some sort of intent, is the closer should be able to close about 30% of those, right? 30%. Here's how we're going to break it down. We have 20 sets at 30% close. That's 6 closed deals every single week, right? And there's 4 weeks throughout the month. So you're going to take a 6 times 4, which is going to give you about 24 set closes per month. And then the 24 set closes times 225, which is the 3%, is going to give you about $5,400 just from the closed sets. Now, depending on the company and the on-track earnings, which is basically the amount of money that you are slated to make if you hit minimum KPI, you're going to have usually a base, right? So you're going to get paid a base of about $1,500, which across the board is industry standard. So if you take the $1,500 plus the $5,400 in commissions, you are going to be at a $6,900. And that is, again, minimum KPIs. And the cool thing is if you're actually hitting these numbers and you're, really consistently doing that, a lot of companies will actually offer bonuses as well. So that 6,900 could really easily become 7,500, or, depending on what that bonus is, it could become a lot more just from hitting the minimum KPIs. Now, I realize I should have defined KPI. KPI basically means key performance indicator. So these are the minimums that you're going to have to hit when you're an appointment setter for a company. Now, let's give you a different example based on one of our setters within the RCA program and some of the numbers that he hit, because it's actually pretty insane. Now, these are numbers from his November. So he was able to hit 50 set closes in a single month on a $9,800 offer. So obviously much bigger numbers than the last one. And he, out of just commissions, 3% of the cash that was collected, made about $14,700. But like I said before, he made a couple $1,000s extra because of the bonus that he hit. So we made over $16,500 in a single month. So as you can see, the money that you can make is almost limitless, right? If you sell more and put more work into it, get really, really good at it, and if the offer is higher, you're going to make more money overall. So now that you made it to the end, to number 6, the bonus tip or thing that you need to know is what you're going to need to focus on as an appointment setter. I think there's a really common misconception that, as an appointment setter, you need to really, really understand the offer and what it is and really sell that. But as an appointment setter, all you're doing is you're not selling the offer, but you're just selling the consultation with the closer. How the process works is, as an appointment setter, again, you're having the conversation with someone that's already interested in the thing. So you just really have to build up the fact that the conversation they're going to have with the closer is going to be transformational for them, right? They're going to get value from it. They're going to learn a thing or two to help them reach the goals that they told you on their call. And that's really all you're doing, is you're teeing up the conversation with them. Now, you might be wondering, Aaron, what should I be saying on these calls? Like, how do I make sure that that person not only sets as an appointment, but they also close so I can make my 3% as a commission? Well, recently, about a week ago, we put together a video. You see it on screen. It goes over the exact script, word for word, that you need to use. Not only that, but I do a live sales call where you can see it happen in action, the words that I use, the transitions, and even the way that I say things. So click the video on screen. We'll see you on the inside.